So they are from the first or Khairul Qurun. Now, how was the Madhab formed? Before Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah's era, the time of Sahaba and the later on of Sahaba and Tabi'een, the tawajjuh and attention was focused towards memorizing ahadith, learning ahadith. But taking out masail from ahadith was here and there among the Sahaba. There were some who were afqah and faqih among the Sahaba, among the Tabi'een. However, this particular field and this branch had not been initiated. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi was the first one to direct people towards not just memorizing Quran, not just memorizing ahadith, but taking masail out of there, debating, discussing, researching, doing an in-depth study, going inside the Quran, ahadith, and using and going in among the aqwal and the verdicts given by Sahaba, and then using the analogy to derive and take out a ruling from the Quran and hadith. This is called diverting people towards fiqh. Now, Nadr ibn Shumayl, a great muhaddith and a faqih, a student of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah as well, he says, كان الناس نياما عن الفقه حتى أيقظهم أبو حنيفة بما فتقه وبينه ولخصه. People were sleeping from fiqh. Abu Hanifa woke them up, and he explained and he summarized fiqh, and he laid out the foundation and the usuls of taking out masail from the Quran and hadith. And there used to be debates in the majlis of Imam Abu Hanifa, researchers. He had a committee, and he had some students, nearly 40 in numbers, who were hafiz of Quran, hafiz of hadith. And he had two sessions, one Aam and general session and one special session. In that special session, they would sit down and bring masail, that if so and so was to happen, what would be the ruling from Quran hadith. And they would take the masail out from Quran hadith, note it down. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi made the chapters, like chapter upon wuzu, tahara, chapter upon ghusl, chapter upon salat, chapter upon saum, zakat, hajj, buyu, muamalat, nikah, talaq, miras, wasiyat. Otherwise, before this, the ilm was not yet divided into these chapters. Imam Malik followed Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi. So he like you get in books today, the first person to do that and divide it was Imam Abu Hanifa. And the roots, Quran, 4 roots of taking masail out: Quran, Hadith, Ijma' Sahaba, and Qiyas. Imam Abu Hanifa was asked, on what do you base your research and your study? And he said, from Quran. If I don't find in Quran, I look in Ahadith. If I don't find a verdict in Ahadith, I look at the sayings and verdicts of Sahaba. And from the verdicts of Sahaba, if they have dispute among them, then we choose, because we can choose from there which one is more closer to Quran and Hadith, and we take that one. And if I don't find, and if there is a consensus of Sahaba on some agreement on one masla, then we take that agreement of the Sahaba. If I don't find it in these 3 sources, then I use my analogy and qiyas. And because qiyas is what you have to use to take masail out. Let me tell you something. Once Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi was teaching, someone stood up from behind and he said, Abu Hanifa, da'u hadhihi al-muqayasa. Leave aside all these analogies and qiyasas and taking masail out from there, because the first person to use his analogy was Iblis. When he said, Ana khayrum minhu khalaqtani min narin wa khalaqtahu min teen, I am better than Adam, you created me from fire and you created him from the soil clay, so why should I prostrate to him? So he used this analogy, so don't do that, otherwise you will be equivalent to Iblis. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah replied, Ya hada, wada'ta ash-shay'a fi ghayri muhallihi. Iblis رد بقياسه على الله تبارك وتعالى أمره ونحن ندور حول الاتباع فكيف نساوي إبليس. Oh bhai, you put the place in the wrong place. You put a Muslim matter in the wrong place. Iblis rejected by his analogy the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are searching for the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so we can practice and we can follow. So how can we be equal to Iblis? So he said, sorry Imam Sahab, ghalattu wa tubtu, I was mistaken, I repent and I seek your forgiveness. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi established masail in this manner. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi took out these masail Now, whenever Masail used to be taken out and some final agreement and some understanding, some in-depth research has been concluded, Imam Sahib had Rahmatullah Ali had among his students Imam Abu Yusuf, Imam Zufar ibn al-Huzayl, Imam Dawood Ta'i, Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak, Fuzayl bin Iyaz, and Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. So they would note it down. They would say to Abu Yusuf, note this masla down. Sometimes there would be discussion, and the ayat, ahadith would be put forward, and after that, conclusion would not be reached. Majlis would finish off. Abu Yusuf Rahmatullah Alayhi says, I would go around the mashayikh of the city of Kufa and look for some hadith which can support the view of Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullah Alayhi. So I would come and I would be really happy. I would say that, Ustad ji, I went to Asatiza and from this muhaddith I have brought this hadith which supports your view. And he would say, I know that hadith. However, there was some flow in its chain and narration, that's why I did not bring it into the discussion. And this is the flow in the chain of the narration of that hadith. So Abu Yusuf said, كَانَ هُوَ وَاللَّهِ أَبْصَرَ بِالْحَدِيثِ الصَّحِيحِ مِنِّي. He had more basirat and insight with regards to Sahih hadith than myself. So Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullahi Alayhi, he takes out these masail from Quran and hadith. Let me explain this in another way. If you look at the Quran Sharif, it has ayat, verses with regards to ahkam, masla, masail, what to do, what to avoid, halal, haram, jaiz, najaiz. And also Quran contains ayat with regards to wa'az, nasihat, and advice. Quran contains qisas, stories, aqidas, beliefs, akhirat. Quran has how many ayat? 6,666. From those ayat, how many ayat are regarding ahkam and masail? In Nurul Anwar, Mullah Jivan Rahmatullah Alayhi writes 500 ayat with regards to ahkam and masail. If you move on to ahadith, leave aside the Zakhira compilation of all ahadith, let's just take Sahih al-Bukhari. In Sahih al-Bukhari, there are 7,500 ahadith altogether, including repeated ahadith. From there, if you cut out the repeated, then unrepeated ahadith, usul, will come to a number of 2,500. From those 2,500, maybe 1,000 ahadith are regarding ahkam, with regards to taharat, salat, and others. Others will be with regards to ayasir, maghazi, riqaq, adab, khana pina, or etiquettes, and aqidas, and these matters. So 1,000 ahadith. Moving on, if you go on to the Sahaba and verdicts of Sahaba, study Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, you get in Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba nearly 28,000 masail verdicts given by Sahaba. By Abdullah ibn Masud, by Abdullah ibn Abbas, by Jabir ibn Abdullah, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Sayyidina Umar Farooq, Sayyidina Ali, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Usman. Their masail, their verdicts, 27,000. Moving on, Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullah Alayhi, in that majlis and in that study and in-depth research, when he noted down the masail, when all the masails which were noted down during the time of Imam Abu Hanifa, they came up to a number up to more than 100,000. And after that, when his students went into more in-depth research and brought out all the masail and put it before the ummah, they go into hundreds of thousands of masail. You study Fatawa Alamgiriya, Fatawa Shamiya, and Fathul Qadir, Al-Bahrul Ra'iq, and all these books regarding Fatawa, you will get countless masails in there. They are all taken out from Quran, from Hadith. Quran, you notice that Quran is the root, Quran is the basis, Quran is the foundation, Hadith is the foundation, Hadith is the root. From there we take the masail out. This is what is called fiqh, this is what is called understanding and in-depth research. This is what Rasulullah ﷺ said, if a person is given fiqh, then Allah has intended good with him. Rasulullah gave the dua to Ibn Abbas, Allahumma faqihhu fi deen wa allimhu ta'weel. Give him the understanding of deen and teach him the tafsir and interpretation of the Quran. So this is the fiqh and understanding through which these masails were derived and taken out. So madhab is nothing but an in-depth research and study put forward by the ulama and the mashayikh and those who were well versed with the Quran, with the hadith. These people, they had immense taqwa in them, fear of Allah. They were scared. Many a times when they could not come to any conclusion, they would just stop. They would say that, I don't know, I can't give verdict with regards to this masla. So you will, maybe sometime later if Allah puts something in mind, if you can get something from Quran, well, we will tell you. Imam Abu Hanifa, he has made tawaqquf and stopped in many masails. And this is why they had fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They wouldn't give anything according to their own pockets. They were hafiz of Quran, they were hafiz of hadith, they were hafiz of the aqwal of Sahaba, and then they derived the masail from Quran and hadith. This is how a madhab is established. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah's view, you've already understood. First Quran, second hadith, third Sahaba, and then qiyas and analogy. Imam Malik rahmatullah's verdict was with regards to how to take masail out, that he would keep in front of him the practice of the people of Medina. If there was some hadith which says something, but he sees that all the people of Medina are doing something different, then he would leave that hadith and he would give fatwa according to the action and practice of the people of Medina. Because he would say that if there is one hadith on one side, then why are so many among the Sahaba, Tabi'een and their families doing differently? There must be something in that hadith, some speciality for some reason or some for a specific amount of time. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did that. The general ruling was not that. So for example, Rafi Yadain, raising the hands. Imam Malik narrates the hadith in his Muwatta, but his verdict is not according to that, because he saw the people of Medina not raising their hands during Salat, only once in the beginning. So he gives verdict according to what he sees in the practice of the people of Medina. So his madhab is based more towards the amal of action of people of Medina, and then he goes on to Quran, hadith, and he combines the ayat and hadith, and then he gives the verdict. So this is how a madhab is established. Now, another thing to understand, these A'immah, they never said that this is my madhab, go and follow it. They only put their research in front of the Ummah. Now they had their students who spread it, who expanded that research from that roots which they had based. And that research went on, moved on, and the more it went through, it spread. There were many other ulamas who researched and put forward their theory. Their mazahib also prevailed, like Imam Awza'i was in Sham, Sufyan Thawri was in Iraq, Abu Thawr was a faqih. He had his research. People used to go and ask them masail, but slowly their mazhab and their followers disappeared, and their mazhab was only remained in the books. That with regards to this masla, Awza'i says this, Sufyan Thawri says this, Abu Thawr says this. But with regards to these imams, their followers also remained, and their research spread out. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah's research spread out most. Imam Shafi's also, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad's. People accepted their research, and people were privileged to say that I am following and I am giving fatwa according to the research of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah, and I am giving fatwa according to the research of Imam Malik or Imam Shafi or Imam Ahmad. As time moved on, after nearly 300-400 years, before the 400 years, there were many other mazahib. But after 400 years after Hijrah, 4th century, the other mazahibs faded away. There was the madhab of Dawud Zahiri as well. There was the madhab of Ibn Hazm Zahiri as well. That also faded away. Only these 4 mazahib prevailed throughout the globe. And if you go around the world today, after the 400, you will see that today throughout the world, in Turkey, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, all the countries that have been freed from the Soviet Union, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and whatever. And if you go around all those areas, they all follow the fiqh of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah.